Hi, I'm Glenn Orpheus, and this is my review of the Cyrusher Sports 2019 XF800 fat tyre mountain bike. Right, first of all, let's just take a look at the features of the bike. So first off, we have the aluminum alloy spring and oil based front fork suspension system. This also comes with a lock-in or lock-out feature depending on the type of terrain you're riding on. Then we have the unmissable 4-inch wide fat tyres, which are great for that extra grip on the road, or letting some air out will make them ideal for riding across soft sand or snow. We have a nice and bright LED front light that can be turned on or off from the bike computer for riding in darker conditions. Next we have the battery, which is a 48 volt 13 amp hour lithium battery, which has a waterproof design, a handy USB charging port for your phone or any other USB device, and fully charges in 3 to 6 hours. Sitting just behind the battery, we can see the middle suspension system, which is rated at £1,000 and is sprung loaded for that extra comfort. The black box sat right behind the mid suspension is the motor controller box, which handles the bike's electronic systems. Moving to the back of the bike, we can see the 1000 watt brushless motor, which is said to reach 42 kilometers per hour or 26 miles per hour within 10 seconds. Coupled with its high torque capabilities, it's also great and makes light work of steep hills. On the outside of the rear wheel, we can see the 7-speed Shimano TX35 derailleur system connected to a 7S flywheel, which is in turn connected to the front pedals by the bike chain. Moving round to the rear left side of the bike, you can see the included bike stand and the rear hydraulic disc brake system. The disc is a 203mm diameter and also features power off to the motor when the brakes are engaged, with the same on the front left of the bike. Moving on to the handlebar, we can see the hydraulic brake lever. In front of this we have the full twist throttle for pedalless riding, and to the left of the right grip we have the Shimano TX50 shift lever to enable you to shift up and down through the 7 gears. Directly in the middle of the handlebar we have the bike computer, which can display a host of information from distance, environment temperatures, assist mode, battery capacity, speed, single trip time, power output from the motor, motor temperature, headlights and backlight for night riding. The small phone holder to the left of that is something that I've added on extra, so that doesn't come with the bike. On the left side we have the rear disc brake lever behind the grip, and just to the right of this we have the bike computer controller for powering the bike, selecting modes, lights and various pages of information about the bike's performance. And last of all, we have the Cyrusher Sports saddle. So, with all that out the way, let's move on to my thoughts about the bike after putting it through its paces for the last 2 months, in various conditions from flat road to steep hills to sand and snow. Before we go any further though, I would like to draw your attention to this, the Cyrusher Sports e-bike owners group on Facebook, which I'm urging owners of Cyrusher Sports e-bikes to come and join, as it's a great place to share tips and tricks or show off your new bike, share stories or arrange meetups. I'll put links in the video description in case you wish to join. So first of all, the bike comes in a variety of colours, from green and black to red and black, white and black, and finally blue and black. The bike has a wonderful paint design overall, but in the case of this green and black variant, There is an ever so slightly different green from the frame design to the inside of the wheel, which you may be able to see in this picture. The bike was super easy to build and comes with a step-by-step manual to guide you through it. While we're on the subject of included things that come with a bike, let's just take a look. First, we have this air pump, which, if I'm honest, does feel cheap and has a small cylinder, which isn't great considering we have these 4-inch flat tyres to inflate. But then it does have a pressure readout dial if you need to check your tyres pounds per square inch. I wouldn't expect this to last for very long or make the job easy, so my advice would be to buy another one and have this as a backup maybe. Moving on to the lock, well, if I'm honest, while it's a nice inclusion for free, I wouldn't use this to secure your $2,000 bike, because when you return, your bike will most likely be gone. As a good rule, I would suggest a lock that's at least 5 to 10% of the bike's value, so I would strongly advise you go and buy a light lock like this one. I'll put all the links in the description below. The included toolset is a very welcome addition, and it's nice and small to keep on you while you ride. Also included with the bike, we have these dual mud guards, with the long one fitting the rear and the smaller one at the front. And also, all the fixtures and fittings come in this handy red bag. What I would like to have seen included though are these plastic see-through guards for protecting the paintwork, as from what I've seen already is the cables can scratch away at the paintwork, as can the chain if it drops onto the back bar. So I highly recommend you buy some if you want to keep your bike looking good. Moving on, the bike computer is great, big enough to see clearly and has a wealth of features. However, there is a cruise function that's been disabled by Crusher Sports by default, so if you do want to re-enable this, I'll do a separate video on how to do this, and also a more detailed look at its features and functions. The cable routing on the bike is very good, with many of the wires hidden within the frame. So, how does it perform, I hear you all ask? Well, for me, I'm a 6-foot guy, weighing around 10.5 stone, or 66.7 kilos if you live outside the UK. And as an example, in Pedal Assist 2, I managed to cover 49 miles before the battery died, and 27 miles on Pedal Assist 5. Both results were from riding a bike on a flat surface with no hills or steep climbs. I only managed to get the bike to 28 miles an hour with Pedal Assist 5 and around 3 pedal rotations per second and a big strong wind behind me, which is not something most will be able to keep up for long anyway. But I did find that a comfortable and easy speed to maintain was around 22 miles per hour on Assist 5. Just using the twist throttle, I managed to attain a speed of 22.9 miles per hour. Right, so what we're going to do is a test, which is just a throttle test. There'll be no pedalling whatsoever, so there's no wind. So, and you should be able to see our clock readout. I'll put that up to 5, I'm not sure whether that will make any difference to the throttling, but we'll see. So, off we go. It seems to be pretty maxed out, 22.9. My biggest and only real gripe about the bike is the battery readout on the bike computer. as I'll be honest, it's quite vague. As you can see here, the battery just dropped to 2 bars and shows a distance of 18.6 miles. So this would give you the impression that it would run out of charge at around 36 miles. However, as you can see here, it actually ran out at 49.3 miles. So that meant I travelled a further 30.7 miles on the last 2 bars, which is quite a big difference. You can, however, check the battery status on the battery itself, and I found this way to be more accurate and easier to gauge how much battery you have remaining. Unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to test the bike in the snow, but as you can see here, it's great for riding on a sandy beach if you drop the air pressure on both tyres to around 10 to 15 pounds per square inch. Once riding on the sand though, I would highly recommend you wash your bike immediately, as it can damage any moving parts with its abrasive nature. But also, the salt in the sand can speed up and cause rust to appear on your bike. So with all that out of the way, let's move on to the pros and cons of the bike. Pros. The 1000 watt high torque brushless motor. The front LED headlight. Extensive bike computer with backlight. A 13 amp hour battery with quick charge 3 to 6 hours. A charging port on the battery. Hydraulic disc brakes. Dual suspension. 4-inch fat tyres for multiple purposes. Good cable management. Cons. Colours don't quite match. Bike is heavy and quite hard to ride without power. Battery readout a little confusing at first. To be honest, I found it's quite difficult to find fault with the bike, as overall I believe you're getting great value for your money. That just leaves me to say thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, then why not consider subscribing to my channel and giving it a thumbs up. I'll be doing a few more videos about Cyrusher Sports e-bikes, including a comparison between the XF660 and the XF800, and an e-bike vlog. Also, some tips and tricks videos to get the most out of your new bike. Don't forget our Facebook group, which was created by users, for users, or for those interested in owning one. So until the next one, bye bye!
Hello, mate.
Hello.
I take it you're not local.
Yeah,
Oh, you're not actually meant to be riding along here?